Tell 'em run it all.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it all.
What is going on? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland. Wake up in Cleveland. Tech Thursday. Gotta stop saying wake up in Cleveland when it's not wake up in Cleveland. It is Tech Thursday. And I am glad to be here this fine morning / afternoon for some of you. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hopefully. You never know. Some people might be having a horrible day. And if you are, I am sorry to hear that. And maybe, just maybe, I can make it slightly easier. Shut down. I wish, shut down, damn it. It's going to be one of those days where things don't shut down like they're supposed to. Specifically, there we go. Okay. So, who do we have in here so far? We got, seems really bright. My eyes are kind of killing me today. Gotta make sure I'm not looking raggedy. I'm raggedy enough as it is. I need to shave. I need to get a haircut. I need to do a lot of things today. I need to get all my CO2, my cryo guns filled. I need to get my cold sparklers, maintenanced. And by the way, when I say I need to do all these things, what I'm really saying is I need to do it myself. Unfortunately, I have to do it myself. But neither here nor there. Today's Tech Thursday. And of course, on Tech Thursday, you know what we have to do. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask with the hashtag right in front so I can kind of see what's going on and move on from there. Couple of housekeeping tips before we go too far. First off, I am next week there will be potentially pretty much guaranteed no Tech Thursday. And the reason why there's going to be no Tech Thursday or Tech Tuesday is because I will be in Florida seeing Rand DeSantos. No, kidding. I'll be in Florida seeing doing all the Disney World things. So it's a family vacation, and we'll be there. Should be a good time. We shall see. So we leave on Monday, and after that we're there until the following Monday. So we will not be available for any shows on those days. Also, let's see here. The following week, I will be here. There will be a Tech Thursday and a Tech Tuesday. But the following week after that, hopefully, some of you people are going to the Harvest of Sound convention, which will be in Boston. And I will be there. I will be there. And I'm doing the keynote, which I'm still currently writing for. Although I will say, just today specifically, I was dreaming that I was at a conference today. And I'm walking around going, what conference is this? I've never been to this conference. I got to do a speech tomorrow morning. No, not for this one. That one's in like 2 more weeks. I don't have to do a speech this week. Oh my God, it's the one. So now I got to stay up all night and write my whole thing. And then I woke up. And I'm here with you guys. And potentially girls. Unity DJ says, cold day in Ohio. Not ready for it. Yeah, it's 71 in Southern California. So it has been extremely windy, though. And windy where I live is actually a bad thing. It just wreaks havoc on everything. My internet starts acting up. My cell service has been a little crazy lately. It's just been a kind of a bad kind of a bad week. Um, my phone is through a company called Ring Central, and when my internet starts to act up, my phone calls start to act up. It's annoying, and I got to move over to my wireless, and the wireless in itself, where I live, is not the greatest. So it kind of screws everything up. Chico Bella, yes, I did say Boston. That's where I'll be. You don't understand. Like, my eyeballs are extremely in pain right now. It feels like I've been drinking. I've been drinking. I've been drinking. Okay. So, Baby Jammer says I have a Pioneer S7. Can I get the duck down sound effect? Uh, not off the bat. I think there are a couple of settings that you can run together, which will kind of simulate the duck down, but yeah, nothing in there. There's no like hidden duck down setting in the S7. As good as the S7 is, which is funny too, because like even on the I'm looking at it right here, the Flex 4. There's kind of like a duck down emulation on there. It is a little strange, I will tell you this. It is a little strange that, and I've always said this, every product they come out with, it's like some products have the things you want, others don't, and then a cheaper product will come out and that product will have the thing that you wanted on the more expensive product, but it's not there. I don't try to figure out the logic of any of these manufacturers, because they're all over the place. They're all of them, all over the place. We just have to roll with it. Like, anytime I get a new product, I'm like, oh, sweet, does it do this? No, doesn't do that, but it does do this. You're like, oh, okay, that's strange that would be there. But like the fact that there's in essence on the Flex 4 a silent echo. The silent echo that is on the S11, that is not on the S7, that is on the Rev 7 and the Flex 4. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It just doesn't make any sense. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Yeah, Mixmaster, we've been at Disneyland so many times. So many times. We had passes and everything, but we've never been to Disney World. Not even my wife. And my wife's like a diehard Disney girl. Never been to Disney World. I don't think. I'm pretty much sure, which is why, she really wants to be there. I am out of focus. Why am I out of focus? Every so often this camera does this thing. Hold on, let me fix something real quick. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Mulberry, we shut down Twitch a couple of weeks ago. There is no more Twitch on Thursdays. That's better. No more Twitch on Thursdays. It's now broken out. Twitch is on Tuesdays. Thursdays are for YouTube. So I kind of like it this way. I'm not gonna say the reason why I like it. The only reason that it's that it is a thing for me is because I would always get the whole hey, I guess he's ignoring YouTube now. He's ignoring Twitch now. And they used to bother me because there were a lot of, comments that would come through from both sides, and Twitch users are different in the way that they communicate versus the YouTube people. And so, yeah, you can find yourself like forgetting people. So decided to get rid of that and move on. Yeah, I might have to go get an Advil or something. Because at the moment, I'm almost about to turn off these lights. Ah, much better. uh okay. I will endure for you guys. I will endure today. Um I find features on bigger DJ gear trickles its way down. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's very, very weird. Mixmaster says when going to Orlando, best thing is to book a hotel on the Universal Estate. Hard Rock is my go-to. The room keys give you fast land access. So you're probably 100% right. In this case, my cousin-in-law and aunt-in-law are like diehard Disney World people. Like they go 2 or 3 times a year. So they know all the things. All the things. And oh my God, I might have to put my sunglasses on. You're totally right. They know all the things. So I'm literally just going along for the ride. Just going along for the ride. Um Okay. We're going to try it with the sunglasses for a minute until my headache tries to go away here. So if anybody's new here and they think I'm just like being bougie, I'm not. This is just I got to do something about my eyeballs right now because they are killing me. I know Universal is not Disney, but you know, that's where we'll be. That's where we'll be. Okay. Somebody asked, which camera are you using? DJ Phasm. I think it's Phasm. I am using currently a Sony A7 IV for my main camera and a Lumix G9 for my overhead camera, and love it. I might end up getting another Sony for the top, or I just got to spend a little more time. Thanks, Mixed Messaging. You try to help me out, now you call me a diva. I got to work on the color. The colors are different, so I find myself having to do more work on any of my edits because of the fact that the colors are different. Okay. Maybe you need to take a break today. For today. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. No break. It's honestly, it's weird because it's like I woke up to take my kid to school and then I decided to go back to sleep. And that going back to sleep part is caused the problem. Now there's a headache. But a lot of times it just needs to kind of work its way out. It's a weird thing. It's like getting up too early. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, thanks Matthew. One step closer. There you go. Okay. Brian Decker says, hi Terry, have you used both SoundSwitch and Chavez Show Express for your lighting applications? If so, what do you prefer and why? I have not used Show Express at the time that I was looking at it at any point in time. It just it required extra stuff that I just didn't want to deal with at the time. I use SoundSwitch, and but I'm also a big fan of Light Rider, aka my DMX Go. I actually love that. And if you're only using a lot of moving heads, to me, it's kind of a no brainer. Like, that's the best one. It's not COVID. I don't have COVID. I'm good, guys. Just have a little bit of a headache. And these lights are bright. If I were just sitting somewhere else, it wouldn't be a big deal. I wouldn't even think about it. But like this light right here is really, really in my eyeballs. So that's all. Not COVID though. Guarantee you. Um, the weird thing about COVID for me, the weird thing about COVID is it's very possible that I am that I'm one of the people that not so much can't get it, but what's the word? Has I don't asymptomatic. There we go. Um I think I'm one of those. I think I fall into that line because everybody in my house has gotten COVID. Um but me. Even the time even the time that I thought I got COVID, I'm not even sure that I got COVID because when I went and took the test, the only reason why I thought I had COVID was because the test came back inconclusive. Guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. Everybody, stop trying to help. It's just a goddamn headache. That's all. Anybody ever woken up and they got a little bit of a headache? That's what this is. It's not prescription. It's not COVID. It's just a headache. But thank you, mom and dad. I'm good. um. Anyway, so yeah, I think I think I either cannot get it or I am asymptomatic. In all honesty, that because everybody like I said, the one I got last December came back inconclusive, and then I retested like 2 days later, and guess what? I was all of a sudden didn't have COVID. You guys are hilarious. Okay. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Like, even up to this point, my eyes are already starting to feel better. Even to this point. So, I think it's just every so often, you're in the dark or whatever, and then you turn on lights and they're just bright. It's like going out into the sunlight and it's super bright. You're just like, oh my God. And then over time, everything just kind of works its way out. That's where I am right now. Let's see here. Since 79 says, any updates on the final release of Serato 3.0? These are not Ray-Bans. These are, what are these? Oh, they are Coach. I got them at the outlet. Before somebody says, ooh, baller. Anyway. Okay. Any updates on the final release of Serato 3.0? No. It'll be updated when they finally get the stems to exactly where they want them, in my opinion. So it might take a minute, but I think it's gonna work hand in hand with the new Rain products. That's kind of my thoughts. Not really sure. DJ Rainier with the $5 headache fund. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Okay. Let's see here. All right, let me go back up real quick. What do you think about the Pioneer Flex 4? I think I will finally do that video today. That's what I think. The Flex 4 is sitting right there, and I was just in denial about getting it done. Because look, when it's all said and done, it's a great entry level product that does the job, and it does it very, very well. It's got some cool features in there. But when it's all said and done, you've seen this product before. It's basically a DDJ 400 update. that now works with both Serato and Rekordbox. And just like every other controller, especially the mid-level to low-level controllers, what you deal with is the fact that it is oh, what was I about to say? I just lost my train of thought. Oh, now I remember. What you get to deal with is the fact that the hardware always tends to work a little better within Rekordbox than it does in Serato. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as the Flex 6 when that thing came out. The Flex 6 was horrible on Serato, and I still say it is. Especially if you use it on Rekordbox. This one is closer. This one is definitely closer, although there are still features. The way the effects implementation does work better in Rekordbox than it does in Serato. So that's what we'll talk about. Okay. So back to the question about Sound Switch, Wolf Mix, and Show Express. Yeah, never use Show Express. Started out with basically hardware, Obeys, the Obey wireless, and I would program everything through there and into the scenes. Then I moved from that to Light Rider and ADJ box, which was the worst part of Light Rider. Not Light Rider itself, but the actual box. I think I threw it away. I honestly think I threw it away because it was driving me nuts. I think the same thing might apply to the new DMX Go. My partner always complains that if anything happens, it's because he loses his communication between the wireless and the iPad. But I loved Light Rider for moving heads specifically because it does everything you need it to do right there. It's easy. It's convenient. When you're dealing with things like Sound Switch or Wolf Mix or any of those, yes, you have to go in and you have to do far more programming to make it work. I've finally learned and understood Sound Switch, and Sound Switch is good. There's some things I'd like to see that it doesn't do still. Haven't used Wolf Mix. Haven't had the option or the ability. Maybe when I'm in Boston, they'll have something up and I can kind of check it out from there. But haven't used it, so I don't know how good or bad it is. And I know that there's another one coming out at some point soon. Better be soon. At some point. So yeah, Mixmaster, chlorine sucks on the I can't even attempt to swim without my goggles. It just hurts too bad. Okay. So I don't actually love the auto scripts. It's not really I think they're okay. I think the trick is in the auto scripts specifically. You really have to make sure you set your gobo parameters on your moving heads. Because if you don't and you just use that kind of static beam, like say you have like an ADJ or an intimidator or whatever, they move slow. Now, there's nothing wrong with slow. Slow is fine, but slow works better if you have some gobo changes and some prisms and things like that. So make sure you get your gobo stuff up, because if not, it's going to look real boring and it's going to move really, really slow. No matter how fast you try to make it, I don't know. Their auto scripts are just, their auto scripts have always felt very, very EDM-ish. Like whatever their algorithm is very electronic. And it's fine. It does the job. But, I think the auto scripts are not the auto scripts, the auto loops seem to be better than when you go ahead and auto script a song. So I tend to stick with the auto loops, in all honesty. I'd rather just have, 5 to 7 amazing auto loops that you can make yourself, by the way, than have it run a script and it's just okay, you know? Like it just does weird things because it's taking your audio and trying to apply what it feels is the proper effect. And a lot of times when you have drops and all those things, what happens is the lights just kind of stop. And then you got to wait that part out. I'm like, oh, this is annoying. So yeah, I prefer the auto loops. Um, Left Cat says I have a ton of controllers. Love having the DDJ 400 just kicking around as backup. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let's see here. Matthew says, given you can pick up a 400 for under $200 on a marketplace, yeah, I'm still gonna tell beginners to snag the 400. I just can't get into the Flex platform. Huh. Which is, I don't know. I mean, it feels very similar, and especially with this one, you know, the pitch faders are off to the side, like everybody wants. Nobody wants battle style pitch, supposedly. So it feels very much like a 400. Um, DJ Prime says, "What's the best external mixer for mobile DJs? Any recommendations for one to check out? I'm in the market, and also the streets need to know." External mixers, I don't even use. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of external mixers. They have a place. I just never really need to use them. Um, I've talked about this before, but if you really want to know why, it's because most of the time, the mic preamps in the equipment I use are very, very good. The speakers that I use are very, very good, and they have their own built-in crossovers, etc. So for me, um, there's not really a reason to use an external mixer. You know, I'm going to use one this weekend, and I use a um, which one? The Yamaha, um, the MG 10, MGX 10 or something like that. Yeah, the medium size one, not the small one. I think they have one in like a 4 or an 8 or 4, and I think I have the 8 or the 10, and it does the job. It has clean sound coming out of it. No real issues. But yeah, I don't use mixers. Okay. Ah. Okay. The Flex has nothing on the 400 concerning its scalability to larger kits and just classic functionality. I know a guy getting into DJing and he's got his heart set on the auto mix feature. I don't. What do you mean? It has nothing on the 400. They look pretty much the same. Concerning its scalability to larger kit, guys, it's just DJing. It's just DJing. Honestly, sometimes I feel that like we get too nitpicky on DJ gear. That's like literally saying, I learned how to drive in this car X, and now you can't move over to that next car. It's going to be so much harder. Is it an automatic? Yes. Does it still have windows and mirrors and a steering wheel? Yes. You should be fine. You should be fine. That's really the only thing. I don't. The Flex 4 is probably, I don't know. I don't see any real difference between it. Okay. What do you think of sound blocks? I have not used sound blocks at all, Sal Yang. I used to router a record box. My Wolf mix will arrive today or tomorrow, and I'm new to the DMX lighting. Cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Wolf mix, honestly. You know, I just don't have one. Okay. Sound switch might work better. So yes, if you are using sound switch, it will not work in record box. As a matter of fact, I was waiting for my record box DMX that never showed up. And my wife is sending me things for Black Friday, and I'm like, the kids got their Hanukkah gifts. It's called Disney World. I have to say it low so she doesn't hear me in the other room talking trash. I'm not buying these kids nothing. These kids are getting nothing this year. Every day when we move to a different park and we get in a ride, I'm like, you like your Hanukkah gift? You like your Hanukkah gift? This is Hanukkah gift day 1. The next day, this is Hanukkah gift day 2. I don't know why my wife thinks we're going to have extra money. We're done. We've spent all of our money. Couple that, this vacation, with the fact that dance is like the mafia right now, extorting, oh my God, so much money out of me. I'm over spending money. These kids are not getting jack. Jack. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So sound switch doesn't work with record box, but the difference is every other program, it'll work with Tractor, it'll work with Virtual DJ natively, and Serato, and then it'll work with any program that has Ableton Link built in. So as long as there's Ableton Link, you can set it up and it will work with the BPMs of the song you're using. So, you should be fine. My hopes of an SX4 are dead probably. I would tend to agree with you on that. I would. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to come out with a new SX. I think that whole style is dated now. And the fact that everybody else and their mama has made a an SX piece of hardware, I can see why they would go. I mean, the mix on 8, excuse me, looks like an SX. Okay. Why are you using a 10 channel? Honestly, at that level, I'd say get a Mackie 12 because I don't use it. I don't use it. I have, like I said, I think it might be an 8 channel. Maybe it's an 8, but maybe it's a 10. It's in my warehouse right now, so I can't even begin to look at it. But because I don't use it, I don't need it. And if I'm doing any type of like musicians or whatever, the mixer has enough inputs for all of them. So it's never really been an issue. That's why I don't need it. I don't need it. All right. Ableton Link implementation in Rekordbox is trash. Huh, okay. What makes it trash? It's just a beat exporter. So yeah, let me know. Which one do you prefer, Rev 1 or Flex 4? I think either one are fine, in all honesty. I think the difference between the Rev 1 and the Flex 4 are simple. The pitch faders are ones on the sides, ones on the top. And yes, you're going to get a couple of things like I think the smooth echo features on the Flex 4. It's not on the Rev 1. The Rev 1 has the scratch cutter and some other little things. So either one would be fine. Either one. Oh. All right, Matthew. Clayton says, gotta love Sound Switch, easy interface with the DAW UI and doesn't suck. Yeah, it's been solid for me. And I guess that's probably the way I can say it. It's been solid. It doesn't give me the same love that, like, in all honesty, that even like Light Rider did for me. But it's been solid. It's one of those, rarely do I touch it unless I need to do things like, oh, let me throw the strobe on real quick, or let me just throw the whites on because, I need to make it bright real quick. Let me put the blackout on. That's it. That's really the only time I touch buttons. And then if for whatever reason, every so often it's like, I don't want to work the way I'm supposed to. Fine, let me put the auto movements on. That's it. But that's it. It works just fine. All right, let me do this real quick. Let me actually take an Advil. So I knew there wasn't anything wrong with the S9 per se. So I guess I didn't think about it. I don't know, maybe it was just me thinking about the set or me consuming all those shots. Or me consuming all those shots. Hold on one moment. Hey, future me, what are you doing? I'm editing your videos. What else would I be doing? No. I get that. Why are you using virtual DJ samples? Well, you said that you would never use the virtual DJ samples. So I put them in to show VDJ users that we care. See? I'm helping you out. You know you're probably going to piss them off again. No, we're cool. I'm on the forums. I got a username. I got a password and everything. I'm a part of the community. And when you're a part of the community, you can make jokes. You know, because we're all just having fun. That's what we do. That's what we do. And it's kind of like being black. Because you know when you're black, you can say, hey, come on, man. Trying to get me demonetized? Why are you being so stupid? Well, considering you from the past, if I'm stupid, I got it from you. Whatever. Yeah, whatever back at you. Why don't you go say something smart on the camera, smart brother? Sorry about that. Let's get back to it. Okay. One of the questions was the max flash rate. So, yes, that is a I don't know it off the top of my head, but the Obeys specifically does not max out the freedom parse. Does not. It is a weakness of it. I don't know why. Maybe it's a resolution thing on the faders, but yeah, it doesn't work as well. The freedom parse actually can strobe really fast. So that is that's an Obey thing. Okay. Let's see here. 69 RS RJSG. Oh, how's it going? Eat my BDJ. So, you know, it's funny about all the softwares because I do have them all and I do use them all, and I do understand how everybody gets so opinionated about their hardware. I was one of them. I definitely was one of those people that was like, oh, you know, I actually saw this on a post of mine, the IG post. By the way, if you're not following me on IG, make sure you're following me on IG. Very, very important. I'm trying to get up to 10K on my IG. And at the current time, I am sitting at 9428. Less than 600 to go, people. So make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. That's very important to me. So do me that favor. If you're not following me there, to get over there and do that. What was I just saying just a minute ago? Now I remember. So the problem is I posted this video, a snippet of my Serato stems video that I just did, my Serato / virtual DJs 2.0 stems video. And, you know, people were like, oh, this is the common response. I don't know why people do this. I don't understand it, but this is the common response. Wow. Virtual DJ Stems 2.0 sounds really good. Still not going to get me to move over. Wow. Stems 2.0 sounds really good. But, you know, Serato's just in beta, and, you know, when they're done with it, it's going to blow Virtual DJ out of the water. Like what did I asked you at this moment which one sounds better? I didn't ask you what your DJ preference was. I didn't ask you what could be or what should be. I asked you which one sounds better. That's it. You don't have to try to, like, you know, stand behind your favorite software. I don't really care what you use. All I asked was what sounds better. That's it. So, and then the last one I had some, like, YouTube flashbacks. Somebody said, um, virtual DJ stems sounds good, but it's not industry standard, so it doesn't matter. I didn't even comment on it. I didn't even comment. I almost did, but I held my tongue. I held my tongue because one of us has gotten into trouble saying things are industry standard, even if I believe what I say. All right. Obey is great on one fixture, but nothing good for anything else. I don't agree with that. I think a lot of people just need to understand how the obeys work. The obey to me is like it's like using Ableton Live. All right, because you have all of your scenes, and then you take your scenes and then you build a song. So as long as you go through, like anytime I would make stuff off the Obey, and I had the Obey 40, not the one you're talking about, which is super small. But anytime I use the Obeys, I mean, I would literally go through, load up my scene, save it, and then I'm just going through, every fixture in creating whatever image. So let's say I always do the same thing from like 1 through 4, or basically the first line, 1 through 7, because I have freedom bar hexes. I would go through, and it would be always the same on every single Obey: red, green, blue, and then typically like white, pink, amber, UV. I'm probably missing a color there. And then the last one would be like the 8 is always like strobe. And then the next page is moving lights, dance lighting. And I'll have like 8 of those. And that's it. Just I go through 2 of them. Never went to the fact of trying to really program like my heads. If that, I would just run those on some sort of a macro setting and call it a day. Okay. LL Coil J, you use any drum machines in your setups? Not typically on DJ setups, although I've thought about it. I've had this idea for the longest time that I haven't implemented, which I'm not going to say online because it's not been implemented, but I've had this idea for a while. Maybe one day. Okay. All right. Yeah, the only problem with the Obey is if you're doing moving heads, because either you run them in auto mode, or you are going to have to create a scene per movement and then program out the scene macro. So basically, imagine these are your lights, and let's say this is down at the dance floor, and then if you want your light to go from here to here, you got to make a scene. And in some cases, you might want to make your scene, because you don't want it to just go scene 1 points this way, scene 2 points this way, and then you just kind of program that out, because then it's just going to do this all the time. You want it to go like this, which means you got to make every scene has to have that movement, like you're programming in a MIDI beat. And that's where I draw the line. I'm like, I'm done. I don't need all this. And then I moved over to Light Rider / my DMX Go. And my in there for moving heads was like, no, here, you want the sweep effect? Just press this little logo. Oh, you wanted to do this? Press the little ducky. Oh, press the ducky. Okay. So you wanted to do this? Press the car windshield wipers. Cool. DMX programming for dummies. I like it. And the most important part, the reason that I liked Light Rider so much is because I could just pick my gobos, right from the first page. Hold on. Do-do-do-do-do. I will demonstrate. Overhead. Okay. It's a little dirty, but that's okay. Here, let me do this. That's better. Okay. So, if anybody has never used Lightwriter, this is what it looks like. And yeah, I know that literally for some people they're going to go, it looks kind of crappy, it looks kind of stupid, but it's exceptionally powerful. Exceptionally powerful. Here are all your movements, okay? So like I was saying, you see a little ducky? That ducky is going to kind of do this. And then this is your swimmer. He's doing kind of the breaststroke. So if you imagine, it's going up, hard, back. And then so on and so forth. So there's all these movements that you can kind of just select at the press of a button. You got your strobe right here. So that's easy enough. You just press it and it just starts to strobe. And you can, if you hold it, you can adjust, I believe. Maybe not on this one. Hold on. Maybe not on that one. Oh, maybe let me make sure. Okay, yes, I'm on that one. Then up here, you have like your all white, and it's a temporary button. So you have to kind of hold it and slide down, and then that way it locks. So it's all white. That's why it has sunglasses. And you got dimmers. You have your another strobe here, and then you have your colors, and your colors are all based upon this little thing right here. So they will run through those colors, but then you can just go in here and then just set the colors you want. I wish there was a way. There's no way to do that today. Okay. And then you have your dimmer. And when I click on that, this is what I currently have set through it. The freedom pars, hex 4s, the slim pars for my uplights, the intimidator spot LED, and then the focus spot from American DJ. And then you can go in here and then just set your dimmers easily if you really want to. Then, let me go through this. That is your audio. You have your microphone, and this is another microphone which will turn it into a sound run iPad instead of it trying to be just working off of its own like BPMs, because it's going to default to this 120 unless you change it up. As you can see, we're changing. Okay. And then, let me see if I can. Come on. Find yourself. Hold on. Let me just pop this into. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then last but not least, you can run it on auto, and you can run it on low, medium, and hot. Hot's like it's just going crazy. And then your last things are, as I was saying before, like your gobos. I can click on this and have access to all of my gobos for my intimidator, for my focus spot, etc. And then also your prism. Just by doing that, now you have 3 prisms. And of course your roll or whatever. And then on the bottom here, you have your scenes. So I have kind of my defaults. I didn't really name them up here. Then I have red, blue, purple, teal, light, amber, spotlight dance. I have one for grand entrance in here, but never really needed to be, that extreme. And then last but not least, what else am I missing? Oh, 2 more things. And then this is where you can easily set where the kind of middle point of your fixtures are. That way you don't have to really go into here and change it. But let's say you did. You can go into your fixture set here. And this is your freedom power. Let me go to my intimidator. Now, here's what's cool about this is you can set your parameters. You can create your scenes just being like, okay, you know what? I want a dedicated strobe scene. So I could go in here and then, mess with my shutter, change that. And then when I go back out, I can save that scene as its own thing. And it will remember, what I've set it as. So if I want to go in here and get really granular, I can, and then go back out and then just hold down and save the scene. Now, one of the things I really do love is this thing right here. This is your moving head movement box. So if it's set to completely wide open, then it's going to go all over the place. But then you can go into here and set exactly where you want your moving heads to move. So for me, I keep them in this very small box. And as you can see, we have red here. For you, it might look red, it might look a little orange, but that is reverse. So I have this one going one way, and then on the other one, I have it going the other way. So this might be a resave. Yeah, so there we go. So there's your focus spots. There's that one, and then this one is in reverse. And that's about it. Makes it pretty simple. I don't know if anybody's used it or not. If you have, it's a great little device. Again, this is essentially, my DMX Go. All right. All right. So actually, the Tylenol or the Advil is working now. Okay. So we are good. Like I said, just a headache. So now what I would wonder is how good it would be to use both Lightrider and Algorithm DJ. Could you do both on your iPad specifically? So I'm not taking my computer with me to Disney World. I'm only taking my iPad. I want to start utilizing my iPad for more stuff because, in general, besides DJing and also besides making videos, my iPad can pretty much do everything. Now, I could even make videos on there. I mean, I have, what's the program? There's a DaVinci Resolve coming out, hopefully in the next month, that I'm going to buy, just because I know how DaVinci is. But there's also, what's the other program I use? LumaFusion, and it's a pretty powerful application. The only issue is with DaVinci, I know it's just going to be better at color grading and all that stuff. So I'm just going to bring my iPad, see how much I can get done, because I can technically do all of my work on my iPad. There isn't anything that I cannot do work-wise as far as, client meetings and schedules and all that stuff. I can do it on my iPad. I just choose not to. I'm like, why do I even need this MacBook Pro? Well, there obviously, there is a reason why. my MacBook Pro is still my favorite computer. But, if they do the stuff on DaVinci Resolve that I hope they do, it's going to be a significantly better application. The same thing with Ableton. I don't know if anybody's used Ableton Live in the longest time, but Ableton Live has a iPad and iPhone. Doesn't work on Android. Has an iPad and an iPhone. I will. I'll check that out, Vasm. Um, Beat maker. So you can make beats in your Ableton app, but that's not where the strength is, because people are like, well, you can make beats on tons of apps. The difference is you can make a beat on the Ableton app and then go to your Ableton Live on your MacBook and it will be there. And then you can just keep on editing from there. That's amazing. Amazing. So, because my whole thing has always been the same. I love making music. I love doing things, but I'm not always sitting at my desk. So, like, I wanted Final Cut to be on my iPad. I have an iPad Pro. Why can't I get Final Cut on there? But for whatever reason, they won't make it for some stupid ass reason. If Final Cut was on my iPad, I'd be the happiest man. Okay. Yeah, the Airstream bridge for me, I absolutely hated. The Airstream bridge for me specifically would lose connections all the time. I'd have to reset my iPad 47,000 times to get it to sync back up with it. Or it would just, for whatever reason, ADJ's like, we don't remember your password. Go ahead and put your password back in. Like, I was just using this a minute ago. Do it anyway, just because. I don't think you can both use Wi-Fi for communication. You would have to use Lightrider with the Wi-Fi and get an adapter for the music. Well, Lightrider is already on Wi-Fi. You're talking about the fact that because Lightrider requires you to log onto like the American DJ Wi-Fi bridge, that you wouldn't be able to stream any other music. And that would be true. That would be true. But if all of your music was on your iPad, which is very doable, then you'd be fine. You'd be fine. Jamon. Sorry, I had to do it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done that. Come on, let's be honest. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate you. Okay. Just got the Rain 1 and love it. Great. I have a Rain 1 also, just chilling over there. And I have a Rain 1 and I also have Rev 7. And I have RX3 chilling right there that I still have to review. I'm supposed to get all this stuff done before I leave for Florida on Monday. Is it doable? I think it's doable. And I got to finish up. I finally found all of my video content for the Mackie Thump 212s and subs. I finally found that. So that video will probably go out today because that's an easy, I just have to cut it up and then just give my opinion on it. Because that's going to be the video that lets people know that I'm giving away that whole system for free. So that video is going to come out probably, I'll do it today. It'll probably come out tomorrow morning. Yeah. Okay. Kylie Palm says, I've been really curious as to using Lightrider as a backup till my Maestro DMX arrives. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Lightrider. Honestly, for most people. Okay. If you don't have a whole bunch of uplight programming that you need to do, if you have just a couple of moving heads or multiple moving heads and, on totems, Lightrider is the best for just running your moving heads. I don't care what anybody says. It's the best. It's the easiest thing to manage. Now, if you are, doing anything else, like you're rocking, Chevet swarms or, again, like, you're uplighting or anything, any kind of Chevet DJ fixtures that has like, 18 to 30 channels and you're trying to program it to work, then you get away from it. Then you get away with it, away from it. Have you tried the R with DJ? Have you tried there with the, I don't know what that means. Have you tried, I think you're saying iOS with DJ? Yes, I have. It works really well. It's a very good backup. And in a lot of cases, it could be a premier thing. I would not hesitate to use Algorithm DJ on my iPad for a gig. My only issue with it is I'm lazy. And when I say I'm lazy, I mean I'm lazy for a reason, because there's only two ways of getting music into your iPad for DJ. And that's either syncing up with your Apple Music application on your computer and then moving all your playlists over, which means that either you have to resync all of your playlists to your Apple Music, that way you can get them over there, or you do something like a beat source where you create a whole bunch of playlists in beat source, your favorite playlist, whatever, get all your music done. And then it's just chilling there. And then you put everything in offline mode. Those are your two options. And both of those options take a lot more time that I have time to do right now. That's the problem. I think in reality, probably the thing I will do first is create some emergency emergency playlists off of my iPad. So that's it. Hoping for a review of the Spin and Slide DJ Panda before the RX3. Yeah, we'll see. Whatever comes easiest to my brain is what I typically use. Okay. Let's see. LL Cool J says 2 Rain 12s, MK3s, MK2s. Hold on, let me go up because I'm not following the entire conversation here. Aaron, the DJ in the building, what's going on? Yeah, Matthew. And it wasn't just me, because my partner also has. He didn't have the Airstream bridge, and I paid for it. I got the whole because when I started using Light Rider, there was no My DMX Go version. There wasn't a dedicated piece of hardware, a DMX, a wireless DMX for it. So I had to go out and buy the it was either $100 or $200 little app drop in, so you could use the Airstream. But yeah, I always had problems with it, always. And my partner, even when he uses the My DMX Go version of it, if like he's got his cell phone on the wrong side or whatever, it just starts to act stupid. It's dumb. But again, software is fantastic. Okay, Christopher Murphy says, on the Ref 7, when plugging in the aux, do I have to change anything on the controller? Nope. So on the Ref 7, on the front panel, you have 3 switches, front right panel of the controller. 3 switches. Off, aux, and portable. Basically, the aux is, your standard decibel, say 0 gain decibel. And then your portable bumps it up by like 10 dB. I have tried them both ways. You can use it both ways. I think a lot of times just running it as a portable instead works better, because if not, I always find that like if I'm doing a montage for somebody or whatever, and they're sending me an audio feed, I have to crank up the sound of the sound knob. So I just think running it at portable is probably the best scenario. Okay. Rough, you said Light Rider is king. Refuse to go back to sound switch. The only problem I have with Light Rider is finding the center of the dance floor. Yeah, I've never had that issue. But again, I think it's also based upon how you set your box. Making sure that your box is operating in a certain thing. When turning, yeah. So Matthew, see, everybody's got an opinion. I had it off. It was just acting stupid, and the only way to get around that would have been to turn off the whole thing. And yeah, because you can't see it, but on my lens there is a manual override, and all I have to do is just pull the sleeve, and then it goes into manual. But the reason why I left this particular camera is because the contacts are a little stupid. So sometimes even when you go to manual, it's like, I don't really want to go to manual. So yeah, I know my stuff. You'd be surprised. I know my stuff. I know things tend to go wrong on the show or whatever, but it's not because of it's in spite of, like, the fact that my Sony A7 IV, as wonderful it is and as amazing as the autofocus is, every so often, if it's just on for a long period of time, because I don't really turn off because I have them running through their own power sources. All of my stuff I just keep on. Every so often it'll just be like, I don't want to do autofocus. Turn it off, turn it back on again, and it works just fine. So yeah. But thank you. If I were a new person, I would completely take up your advice. Okay. So the camera is definitely like our kids. Yes. Very, very emotional stuff. I am, you can't see it. Let's see if I can bring it up real quick. I can't. Okay. So let's see here. Let me see if I can pull up. I don't use it enough to remember what it's called. Epocam. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's flip over to the scene. Where is it? Overhead, main two. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Okay. So, as you can see here, there's my A7 IV right there. There's clothes on the floor because I'm packing, so I'm trying to grab stuff off. There's my big ass screen, and there's the other light over here. Above, this is my overhead. And again, like I was saying, all I need to do is do that little slide mechanism right here, and making sure it can hear me from here. Cool. And then it works. But for whatever reason, it just gets a little sensitive. On my table, I have stuff I don't need, but I have my Stream Deck. This is my overhead, which allows me to, you can take a look. That moves to my desktop screen, or that's my desktop, and that is my overhead. You can see my hand right there. And then I have also this guy, which I still need to do a review on, which maybe I'll try to do it today. And then I'm rocking my Tascam Mix 4. Tascam Mix 4, this is where all my audio comes from. And that's my computer, which you can see. Okay. So, so now I remember what I was going to talk about. So the problem is this is my kind of, light rig. And I got my lights rigged to this guy. This guy used to be on a rig, but I didn't like the reflection it was giving on my sign here. So I dropped it down to get it out of the way. And then I want to take this whole thing down. I'm going to buy a bigger table, but I want to take this whole thing down. And you see there's a RX3 over there. There's the 4. I got tons of stuff. Rain. Hold on, let me flip over to my audio. Epocam. Audio. There we go. Check. For whatever reason, the audio is not coming in. Maybe it's on mute. Hold on. 2. So I'm not getting audio inside the cam, but I will show you one more little thing. Okay, and then over here, that is my very messy desk there. But there's my Yamahas. Yeah, look, I do use my I do use the stands, and that's my other big monitor, and there's my pod mic there, and yeah. Okay, that's my setup for right now. But what I'm going to do is the lights are not bright. The what you're seeing, Matthew, is not that they're bright. You're seeing the iPhone just struggling to figure it out. They're really not that bright. Yeah, because when I showed you my other desk, I'm sitting in the dark. Like I'm legitimately in a dark ass room. But obviously the iPhone tries to auto adjust for the room itself. But I'm in the dark, so it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, the Windex was for actually when I was cleaning off some of my devices, and I haven't been in here besides this, so I haven't gotten it all done. But I didn't even show you my floor. I got controllers all over the floor. It's like Frogger trying to get through my office here. Okay. All right, I answered how my overhead camera is mounted. It's basically a multiple pieces that I had to buy to make it properly. So there is the thing that attaches itself to the pole, and then that's one piece that comes down, and then I had to get another adapter that attaches to the pole and then to the camera. So it's like 3 pieces to make it work. And but what I want to do, because I want to get a bigger table, so that's my next thing that I'm going to buy. I want to get a larger table and then get rid of all these extra tables that I have. That way I can have I kind of want to get an L-sized desk that I can raise up and drop down. So that way, I'm still trying to figure it out though. Still trying to figure it out. Because I have to do something special. This table right here is like a temporary table. I built it. And underneath this table is my turntables and my mixer. So when I'm doing things like this, I put the table on. And then when I'm not, I take it off and then I can DJ. But the problem is I had to create a higher table piece because of my turntable. So I could, it can operate at the height I want it to. And then, which means that this table has to be higher, which is why I sit on this one. I'd love to sit a little lower. Just in general, like on a regular chair, but I don't have that option at the moment. Okay, back to questions. Brian Decker, do you have any experience with or recommendations with any vocal processors? Was thinking about getting a Roland VT4 to add some more fun to the mix. So I don't use any vocal processors. And I mean, the only time I'm using vocal processors is if I'm making music. So I've never used them while I'm DJing. Although I know that the Flex 4 has some sort of vocal voice changing processors in theirs. So maybe it's just a matter of time. But you can always go to like I mean you could go hardware and get yourself like a Lexicon or something like that. And then but I don't know if Lexicon makes a kind of a standalone, not a rack mount. And then you can also there are some Boss pedals that have things in there that you can work off of to make it sound better too. Okay, let's see here. Have you used any lighting from the company Both Lighting? I have not, Big V. Okay, let's see here. So my setup. So, and by the way, Matthew, so I actually do have a diffuser. I put a shirt over this light, and then it gives me a little more context. I'll show you. I will show you. All right, so let's see what this guy's got going. So I knew there wasn't anything wrong. All right. So I don't know if you can see it right now, but there's a diffuser. So my panels have diffusers built in and they actually have dimmers. So I can use those. But I also like to put a little cloth over them. And so right now I have a shirt until I can figure out what I want to apply to the panel to diffuse it even more. Because there is some diffusion going on. It's just not as much as I'd like. So I'll show you how ghetto I am. And I think we're all kind of ghetto in certain respects. Whatever's not in the frame doesn't exist. But I will show you. Ah, okay. Yeah, see this light right here is nowhere near as bright as it's trying to come off. This light is actually operating at like nothing. It just seems brighter. But this light, if I put it on the shirt, this is my little shirt, then I get a better diffused. But like even like the room, like I guarantee it's not that bright. It's not this bright at all. I mean, everything's closed. Very weird. Okay. So now I can't take it off, but you can probably see that there's already a difference. Here's the thing. Every time I put it on, and these are LED panels, my wife comes into my room and, maybe she drops off. I have my clothing in this room because my wife has our walk-in closet because that's how things work when you're married. But she'll walk in and see this thing up there and she'll just freak out. The house gonna catch on fire. I'm like, it's an LED panel. There's nothing's catching on fire. But in her brain, that's what she feels. Okay. James Bond in the building. What is going on? Ask table giveaway. I am giving away some stuff, but nothing on this table. I will be giving away. I can't do this video until I think mid-December because X5 is doing a giveaway of their own. They're doing a special. So when they sent me the wireless receiver, I asked them to send me a secondary one because I'm gonna mail it out, or wireless headphones. So somebody will get their own version of these. I'm trying to do more giveaways. And maybe it's not even because I want to. I'm just sick of seeing crap around my house. So it's a little self-serving. But if I can send out, some stuff and make some people happy, then I would love to. The hardest part of any of this stuff right now is I'm still trying to figure out the whole international thing because I don't know if like I'm sending out speakers and tops and everything else. Like I don't know if I can send anything out reasonably priced out of the United States. That's the issue because I have, like I said, I'm gonna send out the Mackie Thumps, the 212s and the 15-inch subs, with a Newmark mixed stream. So DJ in a box. I'm gonna send that out to a lucky person. Somebody's gonna get lucky. But I will tell you this: nobody will get lucky if you're not following me on all my social media, which means my IG, which means my TikTok, which means my my own little forum, which I can't think of, my Discord, and my Twitch. I need you on all that stuff. So yeah, I'll be sending that stuff out, but those are the prerequisites. Okay. Let's see if we have some more questions here. Open cell phone works great as diffusion material, just the thin stuff you use in shipping. Oh, I can see that. I could because it already has like a opaque thing to it. I know exactly what you're saying. Ah, okay. D Jones Drum says, "How did you come up with your DJ name?" I didn't. DJ Drums. D Jones Drums. Cleveland is actually my first name. So Cleveland is my first name. Terry is my middle name. Bowens is my last name. So I didn't do anything special. I just used my name. And who knew it was going to be such drama built around my name? It's a funny thing. I was on a call with a client yesterday, and I do all of my client meetings here because it looks good. And I will tell anybody out here, you should listen to me. It is easier to sell your product when people think that you've invested quality money in all of your presentations. Like, I don't have to do much of anything. People get on here, and the first response every single time they get onto my stream, first response, "Oh wow, look at you, you're like a professional." I'm like, well, I am a professional DJ, and I do all this stuff and blah blah blah. That alone, people are like, okay, I think I want to book you, just because. So presentation is really really important. It's really important, and I will say this too. As stupid as it sounds, if you're doing events with that have kids involved, like I do a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs, or even like weddings and things like that. Like for the most part, nobody wants to see an old man on camera. Nobody wants to see that, old man or old woman. Okay, so whatever you have to do to hippen up, do it, because it's going to affect your booking. Like don't walk in a suit and tie, even if you're doing a face-to-face meeting. Like, get rid of that. Go in with some edge to you, because any client is going to look at you and go, I don't want that old man at my party. But it's not an age thing. It's a relevancy thing. And if they feel like you are still relevant, well, obviously, that experience that you have as being a DJ or an MC for decades goes a long way. And they're already listening to you talk, so they know that you can speak well, but they don't know how you DJ. That's a part of the way you look. And the more tight you look, the less they're gonna want you there. Okay. Let's see here. What's the best cost-effective DJ pool? Well, I am not the guy that knows every single DJ pool. I know like 5 DJ pools: BPM Supreme, DJ City, Direct Music Services, Beat Junkies. Which one is that? Is it Heavy Hitters or Heavy Tracks or whatever? I think that's what it's called. Heavy something. And like Eighth Wonder, which was the first one that I ever used, which was the Eighth Wonder. The OG DJ look is in these days. I do not agree with that. That sounds like something you tell yourself in the mirror. I think that I just think you have to sell yourself, and I just know what people look. If I'm talking to a wedding and a new prospective wedding client, they're 20, 25 years old, maybe 30. Heavy hits. There's another one, not just heavy hits though. They don't want to see the person that's older than them. It's just facts. So, anyway, okay, let's see here. Polybius of Arcadia, what's going on? Best DJ pools, what works for you? Yeah, you're right. But if you were just trying to get like the most bang for your buck, you probably have to ask somebody else, because I have, because I know Mixmaster is saying Zip DJ. There's a few that I've never used before that everybody swears by. But for me, like, and again, I'm a little different because I don't pay for the majority of my things here. We do pay for BPM Supreme. We do pay for Heavy Hitters. I think it's Heavy Hitters. It could be something else. And I don't pay for my DJ City. I don't pay for my direct music services, but I will say this in general. What I have found is, uh, it is, yeah, heavy hits is fantastic for remixes. Fantastic for remixes, heavy hits. But those remixes are also songs that you might not ever play. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're amazing, but you can't play them. Although I do play one. There's one I have, which is the uh, uh, whatever the hell does. I have a Leave the Door Open Big Papa remix, and I play that one every week. Club Killers. Thank you. Club Killers is what I was talking about. I'm like, heavy killers, hits killers. It's something. Yeah, the remixes are absolutely amazing. I download them all the time. I play them just for myself, like literally. But there's a couple of remixes that I will use on a daily basis. You know, and anytime I'm doing like any type of kind of K-Tronada vibe, the Club Killers has an amazing playlist. Okay, so this is what I know about most of the things out there. Not one streaming service, not one record pool does it all. Not one. Okay, you're typically going to have two. Two seems to be the good number. Because what'll happen is you'll go to DJ City, right? And then DJ City, you'll look for the song, they won't have it. You go to BPM Supreme, they will have it. And then vice versa. You go to BPM Supreme, try to download a song, it won't be there. It'll be on DJ City. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. I do think that DJ City is good, and they have a really good like Latin section. They're a little slow in regards to making sure they have all the super current music. That's the one thing I will say. I feel like the priority right now is more in the beat source. And I think right now, today, because I can only say today, because next week, you know, DJ City will come out with an update and it'll be just as good. But right now, BPM has quietly done some things, and I'm actually pretty impressed with BPM Supreme now. They have now their celebrity playlists and stuff. Like Sonny James's playlist is amazing. There's just a whole bunch of cool things there. So anyway. Okay. What is the best streaming service to use for DJ software? Says Scenic. They're all good. Okay. If you're just doing pure streaming, all right, like you're not worried about downloading or putting anything offline, the best streaming service that I've used, and I have to say this because I haven't used any of the virtual DJ ones, but the best streaming service is Tidal. Has the best sound quality, has the entire catalog, has clean versions and dirty versions. Second to Tidal is BeatSource, because it's designed for DJs by DJs, and their playlists are excellent, and it has an offline mode. Those two are the only ones that I recommend for streaming specifically. Okay. Headliner Music Club is they're also good with the remixes too. Headliner Music Club feels like it's a pool designed for specific DJs. You know, it's just because they don't have a lot of the catalog that you look for, but again, their remixes are really good. And what's good about Headliner Music Club is well, not good or bad, just different. They don't keep all their remixes up. They don't archive them. So after a month, they remove them and put up, 30 more remixes. So if you found a song that you really liked and you didn't download it, it might be gone the next time you get there. in all honesty. So, but that's also what kind of makes it cool. It's like digging in the crates. It's like going to a record shop and finding a song that nobody has, So I appreciate that. Deezer is cheap and great in a pinch as long as you are online with virtual DJ. Okay. Audio files are copied as well when you sync from Engine DJ. Got several videos about how the DIN ecosystem works on my YouTube. All right. So make sure you guys are watching Spencer G's his videos, because I'm sure they're very, very thorough. Okay. All right. Duray 517 says, I am trying to understand the file structure of Denon Prime OS. Am I correct? The source music files, FLAC MP3 waves, are not copied when syncing to an SD card. Only the database is copied. No, your local files are also synced to the SD card. Yeah, everything goes. BTech, what's the best streaming service for small artists? I want to find some hidden gems. Well, then you're going to be on SoundCloud. And SoundCloud is trash, except for finding those hidden gems. Digital DJ Pool I haven't used, and I don't know. I do not know. Okay. Yeah, don't trust Mojax, definitely. All right. It is 12:07. Yeah, I'm not saying, Power Friend, I'm not saying that you can't do remixes. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, I think I think especially if you're actually DJing like clubs, you have a lot more latitude than if you're DJing like private events. Private events don't want to hear remixes for the most part. You can drop a remix here and there, but for the most part, they want to hear the songs the way they were produced, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, a few more and then I'm gonna get off of here. If on VDJ, the IDJ pool is okay. Sometimes it doesn't have what I'm looking for, but has some good remixes. That's why I use it in title and promo. Yeah. Look, guys, like I said, you're never gonna have one record pool. You're gonna have two or three. My opinion is you're probably gonna have two record pools and one streaming pool. So be prepared to be spending, somewhere upwards of $50 to $70 a month. But you're a professional DJ, so it's a write-off. James Bond says Bandcamp. Absolutely Bandcamp. But Bandcamp, you do have to buy the music. It's not a record pool. You're buying individual tracks. And when I tell you, I have found every couple of months I go on Bandcamp and probably spend $130, $150 every couple of months. And I play every song I download. Every song. Now, again, not one of those things for regular people. It's when you're trying to show that you can go deep, you can pull all that stuff in. I have so many producers that are amazing that nobody's ever heard of. Bandcamp, I found that. Bandcamp to me is the closest thing to digging in the crates as far as online media is. The best. But you will spend money because you're going to find stuff you like. Now, the only good thing about it, is that you have to a lot of the times, like, you'll walk in and it'll be some producer and it's like, so pick your payment. Just put on there how much you want to pay. I hate that because I'm cheap. If you tell me pay what you want to pay, I'm gonna pay what the bottom of the barrel is. Or they'll say, for one song for $2, but get my entire catalog for $6. And the entire catalog is like 30 songs. I mean, come on now. I'm gonna buy the entire catalog. It's just the way it works. Anyway, I did not see any Nimbus versus Into or Chill comment. And I do not use Dancing on the Clouds. None of my clients want them. So I have not used them. So I don't actually have an opinion on them. You want an opinion on any of that Nimbus stuff, whatever, you got to go to DJ Bar. I'll take care of you. But yeah, I don't personally. Yeah, not too many bar mitzvahs want Dancing on a Cloud. As a matter of fact, not too many wedding people. I haven't had a single wedding client ever ask me about Dancing on the Cloud. Not one in Southern California. Don't know why. Okay. Okay. All right. Biggie Small says, I think would have had a great time at the DJ Collective get together and pool party that just happened. Bastard, Buck Rogers, Demand, ADMC were all there. Yeah. No, I agree. But I am not personally spending any money at this moment, especially when I'm going to Disney World literally on Monday. And then I have the Harvest of Sound. So I might have gone had they covered my my transpo. I might have gone, but yeah, not right now. Not in the pricing for me. But it look cool. Yeah, and those are all my guys, but I'll have to wait and see them somewhere else. Okay, not your average wedding DJ. Can you only access BeatSource offline locker if you have internet initially? If I'm in a complete dead area, I can't access. So, no, you don't. You just have to ping the server at some point that day. Like if you haven't been on BeatSource and you go on, it's going to try to look for your login. So what I would suggest is just that day when you're in self-service, just go ahead and open up BeatSource, and then you should be fine. What area of Disney are you going? I'm going to all of them. We're going to we're doing the whole Disney World thing. So we're hitting every place. Going to be in Florida for a week. When is the Reloop Mix on 8 coming out? I think it's coming out sometime in December. That's the plan. I think it's late December. I still haven't gotten mine to test, but I think that's the plan. So you might see a video from me, you might not, and that's okay. I don't have necessarily a problem not receiving hardware, when things first come out. Like, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I like to, and for the most part I do, but if it doesn't come out, I just find that the world is not the world doesn't operate, especially with YouTube. There are ways around it. And now that I'm doing more content on like my IG, and my TikTok and IG, there's some payment in there for IG. It's all about just kind of leveraging and just utilizing all of your things to make money. People always say, YouTube, that's where the money is. Not so much. There is money. I get consistent money from YouTube, but it's not money that I could just do YouTube on my own. I think you need to be doing like, hundreds of thousands of views on every video. And I don't have that. We have a niche. Mixmaster, hey, thank you so much, fam. Appreciate that. Yeah, it should be fun. I'll be here for another week, and then I'm off to Boston, and I'm in Boston for 4 days. I'm flying out Sunday after my gig, and then I'm there till Thursday. So that's the plan. And I think I'm gonna talk at MIT with my guy, Philip Tan, who's like the big baller at MIT, Brainiac DJ. So I think that's where I will be. Okay. What is the date today? 11/17. 11/17. Okay. Sorry. Just had to check something. All right, let's see here. Check out Ordinary Adventures for good. So yeah, Jungle Soldier. I am not going to do anything because my relatives that go 3 or 4 times a year are like Disney World pros. So they've literally locked in everything. Everything. We didn't have to do anything, which is one of the reasons that we opted to go. Is because the fact that we I don't want to be the guy running around trying to do everything when somebody else knows, better than I. I trust that. Waddy J in the building. Waddy J in the building. So I was watching yesterday. There was a show and Waddy had posted it in our chat. So I took a look. He was competing against like 4 different guys for a chance to win $10,000 for DJing. So it's a 5-minute battle, and he did his thing. The entire crowd, and there was like 350 to 400 people in this live IG. Okay, we're like, oh, Waddy killed it. Waddy killed it. There were 4 competitors. It's a person after Waddy. There was one more person. He was good. He was clearly good, but not, he didn't do any real programming. So, but he was good. He was still really, really good. I didn't get a chance to see all 4 of them. So to make a long story short, the voting goes up. Everybody in the chat's like, Waddy, 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 Waddy. Definitely top 2. And then the voting goes through and he doesn't make the next round. Why? Because people do not vote on skill. They vote on popularity. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And when I see Chubby Chub, I'm going to tell him it was bullshit. Speaking of heavy hitters, that was a heavy hitters promo. So, cause, it was, I forget his name. One of the DJs from Heavy Hitters. Anyway, not that I should be telling you what it is because you don't win based upon talent. You win based upon popularity. It is what it is. Let's see here. Yeah. The sign is made by DJ Solstice. You can find him online. DJ Solstice, spelled exactly how, Steak Fam has it. Speaking of bar, what is your average charge to do a wedding? I don't know. You should ask Bar. I don't talk prices online. I don't talk prices at all, to be honest with you, because every person is different. Every person is different. As far as, what you can charge, what I charge in California in SoCal might be different than what somebody charges in the Midwest or charges in Florida, so, don't talk prices. Okay. Yeah, Pretty Lou, Heavy Hitters. It's a boycott Heavy Hitters. Hey, I'm 2 hours from Orlando if you need anything. Thank you, 69. I appreciate that. Also my guy DJ Kova from Tweak Music Tips is also in Florida now. So, we'll check him out. Okay. Last couple of questions, then I got to get out of here. It's 12:19. I want to be done by 12:30. Do people just stop you and say what's up, says Steak Farm? That's a very good question. It's a tough one. So, okay. If I am going to a conference, okay, typically I know if I'm coming from an airport, if I'm, at a club or whatever, somebody's going to know me because those people at the conferences know who I am. Okay. So that I do get. I have gotten random people in the most random places. I was at the Grove in LA and I was walking to the Apple store and this guy's like, "Hey man, Cleveland Terry." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I follow your channel." I don't make the connection, in regular places a lot of times. And another thing that I will get is that, I'll get, people staring. They stare. And my initial response is to be defensive. Like, what the fuck are you staring at? But they're not staring because of that. They're staring because they think they know me, and they just either can't put a a name to the face, or they don't know, they're shy, whatever. So yeah, and then I was at my warehouse, like cleaning up my gear or whatever, and this dude from across, and I mean like 10 warehouses down, was like, Cleveland Terry. And I'm turned around, I'm like, he's like, oh, I follow your channel, I love it. This Hispanic dude. So yeah, it happens. It happens. I never think about it though. So sometimes it happens and I'm just like annoyed, and then I realize, oh, they probably just knew me. So I didn't think about it. Okay. DJML says, when you send quotes to clients, do you send it as a plain text in an email? Use a PDF or website link? I'm trying to determine what the most. So I have a full on booking site. Um, I use a program currently, and I've been using it for the past few years because I've checked all the other ones out. And I've been using a program called ShootQ. It was designed for photographers, and I just customized the hell out of it to make it for me. We've been using it for years. Now, people say, well, why don't you go to this or go to that or do that? I have looked at all of them, and all of them have their strengths and their weaknesses. But the one strength that I can't leave is financial calculations. I need to see what my products are doing, and a lot of them don't have that, or they have real questionable contract settings. Like where you can send them a contract, and you can make changes to the contract after the contract is signed. Like, you should not be able to do that, unless you do an amendment, because it's a contract. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, so mine are all electronic. There's a link. They click on the link, goes to the site. They can sign everything, approve everything, all online. DJ Wardlow, do you rock the SC4 live on any more events? I ordered mine and it's coming. Do you have any opinion on if it differs from your review since you have more seat time with it? No, it's exactly the same. It's a fine product. I'm looking at it on my floor right now. I don't. There are some things about the SC4 that don't work for me with me and my DJing. So I won't be owning one. I'll be sending it back. Yeah, but there's just some things that I prefer. One of the things that I don't love, and I know that Serato just came out with an update for their stems, so you can use the stems on the pads. At the time I was testing it, that didn't happen. But I am a computer-based guy. Okay? And I'm a computer-based guy for the only reason of I get tons of requests. So as a DJ, while yes, you can definitely, stream from Engine and all that stuff. I just prefer, I don't have every song I own on Engine, which isn't a problem. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, like I said, 20 gigs, 25 gigs, and I can rock pretty much any party. But I still prefer to DJ off of, like, moving platters. So that'll be the Rain 1 or the Rev 7. And I also have a DJ 1000, which I still love. Still a great controller. Hi. No. Hold on. Okay. All right. I think when you send close to clients, I think I answered everybody, and it's 12:25. I think we're good. I'll ask the last couple of questions. You guys know what to do. Put the hashtag in there if you have any more questions, but I think I've nailed them all. So, and look, for anybody, I am really down to earth as far as coming up and chatting with me, you know. Um, the only thing I will say, the only thing I will say is for most people, and this doesn't necessarily just apply to me. Okay. This applies to all, because I'm with typically all these things. I'm with Bar and I'm with, you know, Lupig or Rick Webb or somebody like that or Kova. The thing is, you have to know your timing. Okay. If you come up to me and start chatting, there, with all due respect, and I'm not trying to be rude, okay, but there, a timer starts, bam, okay, and it starts ticking down. All right. You have to have your internal clock inside, which knows when you've overstayed your welcome, you know, and there's telltale signs, you know, like if I'm not talking anymore and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. That's great. Hey man, nice talking to you, whatever. Like when I say something like that, that's the sign. That's the sign that, okay, we should probably wrapping this up. And a lot of people don't get the signs. They don't. They just keep on talking. Like, okay, all right. Yeah, I thank you so much. Yeah. And I answer questions of it, but there is a limit. There is a limit, you know. And I'm never rude about it, but like I just wish people were more aware, you know, that maybe they're not the only people that want to talk to me. You know, like, you know, at these conferences, I'll probably have 30 people that want to push up on me. And so I just, you know, need for everybody to just realize that part. Okay. What do you think about Static City? I don't have an opinion on Static City whatsoever. I don't even know what Static City is. Oscar Cervantes. I'm looking to get a Pro controller, but I'm waiting to get the DDJ 1000 because I feel like Pioneer is going to release something soon, like the Flex 4 and Flex 6 GT. Should I wait or just make my purchase before the price spike in 2023? Well, first off, I don't know that there's going to be a price spike in 2023. I mean, they've already adjusted their pricing. So I think what you're going to see is what you're going to see. Any gear that comes in, it's going to be more expensive. There's just no way around that. This is what I will say. Okay. And again, NDA. So I don't have any information. What I will say is this, the DDJ 1000 has been around for a long time, long time. So, it stands to reason that there will be something else that comes out because it's been around for a long time. So the question is, do you need a controller right now or do you want a controller? If you need a controller, get the best controller that you can right now. Okay. But if you just want a controller, then I would wait. I mean, it's November. I mean, I would definitely wait. I would wait until at least after January just to see what comes out. You know, bottom line, the January is typically hot time for releases. Even though NAMM is not until April this year, it's still a hot release time. So I would definitely wait if you can. Just see what everything out there. We know Reloop's coming out with their products. We know Rain's coming out with their products. That's probably right around that time. So I would wait. Okay. Do you ever come to Canada? I haven't been to Canada since I did a bar mitzvah there a few years ago. But yeah, I love Canada. Canada's great. Like it's a great place. The only funny thing that happened is that when I went to Canada, I was there for a bar mitzvah, and we went out the night before. What I remember, especially, is that every club I went into was playing Drake. Every club. And like in Canada, there's usually like DJ strips, just like clubs, where there's like a whole bunch of clubs you can just kind of walk to. Every one of them was playing Drake. And that was driving me nuts. Do you see at parties or weddings that they come up to you in the last 15 minutes or so wanting a ton of requests, knowing that you can't get them done? So yeah, I mean, people always have requests. I try not to make it a big deal. And I try to just make sure I play all the songs that I think they're going to want anyway. That's kind of your job as a DJ. I always find that for the most part, if people are requesting a whole bunch of stuff, it's typically because you're just not giving them enough of what they kind of want. So it's going to be it's going to be an issue. Um, well, I don't find that people ask me for a whole bunch of requests at the end of the night. I just find that people want to dance more at the end of the night. Weddings in particular, they'll have a 5 or 6 hour wedding and people won't do anything for the first 3 hours. And then the last hour or so, they're just like, come on, let's go. One more song. And every time like clockwork, everybody wants to dance the last 30 minutes at a wedding. And yes, this microphone is an SM7B. And the stand I'm using is what stand is this? This is a Stream Deck. The Stream Deck or the Elgato low profile stand. Okay. All right. They're always going to ask us song when you're mixing in the next track. I'm looking to get aware. Answered that one. Okay. I understand. I just watched one of the videos. It was like, wow. Oh, I missed. Yeah. Um. I Everybody. Yeah. So we don't get to keep all the products. So typically, when we use them for a while, we do have to send them back. And I mean, based upon my review, you guys know I like the controller. I don't love the controller like some of these other influencers are talking about. I like it. It's a good controller. It's a solid controller. But it's definitely not a Prime 4 replacement. Definitely not. You know. So yeah. But as with the price decrease, I think it's a much better device now. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Medicated Wookie says, if I go from bedroom DJ to higher DJ, should I purchase a speaker sound system? I mean, yes. Um, if you don't, your price is going to have to go up because if you rent speakers, you're going to have to pass that price off to the client. Like so we do we do some events for a couple of big DJs for some some superstars. And what they do is anytime this client wants to have a party, she calls this DJ. The DJ contacts us and says, hey, this is what I need for the party. We come, we set up everything for him. He does a party. I come back the next day and then take it all home. But I charge our rate to rent it out. Okay. And then he just passes that on to the client and they're totally fine with it. And they still pay him. So if you can get into that thing where they're just hiring you to DJ and you can, pass it off, that's fine. When we go to the Bay Area, we're in Vegas this weekend doing a bar mitzvah and we rent equipment. So the crew doesn't have to drag it along. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of companies that this is what they do. Now, just keep in mind that for the most part, every rental company out there is about $1,000. Typically, no matter what you get, it's about $1,000 to rent speakers and lighting and maybe even a controller. So that has to be rolled into your price point. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So if you can, buy one. Just don't buy a super cheap one. If anything, buy some really quality highs with some good low end and then start there, and then move on from there. Okay, let's see here. Do I think tractors going downhill? They seem to be so behind. I'm not the guy to ask about tractor. I am not the guy because I don't use tractor. I don't find any. I find the tractor fascinating. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Okay. Last question. By yeah. So I'm not a tractor guy, but it is what it is. There was another question. Do I think it's going downhill? I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's exactly where it should be. You know, um, I don't know. I feel like tractor is a little bit of a prima donna, and that's why they're bombing. Um, so yeah, the MB7. There's an MB7 that kind of looks like this, but nah, it's still not the same. The SM7B is the microphone. Now the MB7 has USB, so that's a cool feature. I'm trying to get an MB7 for my desk because that way I know that it's going to have similar sounds. But if I can't, then I can't. Okay. Last question. I'm surprised Apple haven't come up with a laptop just for DJs. They don't need to. They don't need to. They do not need to. Uh, this guy right here. This guy. This guy. MacBook Pro 14. M1. 10 core. 2 terabyte hard drive. 32 gigs of RAM. Best computer I've ever owned. The best computer that I've ever owned. There's no reason that they need to come out with a DJ computer because the computer does everything I put at it. Everything. The best computer I've ever owned. And I've owned lots. I've owned lots of Macs. I've owned some PCs. Nothing holds a candle to this computer. Nothing. I would say not even the M2s at this point. This M1 computer is the best computer they make. Okay. By Maui. If you can find them. It's really hard to find those Mauis. I can't even get a Maui sent to me. They just, they're having a little trouble. I think they want to send me their I think it's their lower end. I think it might compete with the Mackeys. Casapo. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's what they're going to send me because they can't even get the LGs available. All right. Static City is a site that grabs all the music from all the pools and makes you pay for their site and access all the pools. So you mean cheating? You mean stealing is what you're talking about. I am not going to tell anybody what to do out there. If you find something that you can, snatch music up with, great. There's tons of sites already, tons of applications out there. There's another one that is also big. Can't think of the name right now, and I wouldn't say the name anyway. But do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But that's still stealing. So I can't really talk about it on my stream. Audio One in the building. Audio One in the building. J Book in the building. That was a weird pause. But yeah, do what you got to do. I'm not saying that I haven't used any of these things, but you'll never hear me talk about them online ever. As a matter of fact, one of the companies, hold on, what are they called? One of the companies out there actually contacted me, and I'll tell you the name. Oh, Citify. Citify contacted me to do a video about their program, and I just was like, I can't do this video. You're out of your mind. Like, what do you mean? Like, you have a program that steals music from other companies. Like, I can't do this video. Well, no, I'm like, no, I can't talk about this. Sorry. I can't. I don't care how much money you want to give me. I can't do that. So, but if you look now at their site, they don't talk about anything like that. They talk about really actually what there's an actual word they use now that kind of removes uh some of the, hold on, let's see what they say. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now on their on their site, it says Citify strictly complies with the US copyright regulations. We adopt the leading technology to record the unencrypted audio output to the system sound device with the highest level of audio. So, if they follow strict guidelines, then how are they selling this in the US? They're saying Citify never circumvents DRM. Most streaming servers protect their content against direct download by adopting DRM technology, which also ensures that only authorized users can listen. Citify respects the rule and has never tried to circumvent it. Citify just records the unencrypted audio data, which is outputted to the system sound device. Also, the songs can never be recorded with Citify independently without subscribing to the streaming service. Well, that's not actually true. Because if I stop Citify, I'm pretty sure I can still play those songs. So do what you got to do. I'm not saying don't do what you got to do. I'm just saying you're not going to get me to represent them anywhere. I could just see Apple's like, hey, what happened to my Apple Music? How come I can't get into my iCloud? Apple's like, well, you know why. DJ J Book says, what's all the hype behind the DJ Collective than other events? Jay, I thought about that too. And the only thing I can think of is that they make it in a way that you feel like you're missing out. They have a really good job of marketing it to where it's almost like only the who's who go to this. It's expensive. It's, it does all the things you want. You get access to like superstars and megastars. So they make it in a way where it's like, man, I really got to go to this thing. Is it any better or worse? I've asked people about it, like some of my peers, like, what did you really think about it? And for the most part, they've always said, oh no, you get really good information. They pull in real professionals. So, it's, I'm sure it's really, really good. It's very expensive. It's just very expensive. I'm sure if I would have asked, they would have hooked me up with a deal. But, yeah, it's not, I got too many things outside, too many financial responsibilities that I just couldn't do it. Okay. Is insurance required for yourself if you do bars or clubs? No. The bars and clubs should have their own certificate of insurance. And so you're just one piece of the situation. So you should not require it. And if they make you provide your own insurance, I would question the actual venue, in all honesty. Okay. All right. Last couple of questions. Power Friend says, a lot of guys are going to have to upgrade that use VDJ. We could get away with low-end PCs. Now you need a gaming laptop with an RTX video card. It's refresh time. Got a code. No code. I think that, you could stay with PC or you could go with like a Mac, Macs are good too. All right. Let's see here. All right. You may have answered this question. I'm looking to purchase the Rev 7, but I know Rain are about to drop a new controller. Do you think it will be better than the Rev 7? I don't think at the moment anything is better than the Rev 7 for me. Now, having said that, there's a ton of good controllers out there, but I can tell you one thing alone. the new Rain mixer, because they put it on their own IG, does not have moving platters. So if moving platters are a thing, because there's no reason to get a Rev 7 if you're not interested in the moving platters. All right. There's no reason. So if you care about moving platters, then the new Rain is not going to make sense for you. Now, are they going to come out with something else at some point? At some point. We only know about this Rain mixer controller that's coming out. So, that's what you have to deal with. And that's the question you have to ask yourself. All right. I can shove an 8 terabyte SSD in my PC. You could do that, Mac Attack, but do you really need to? I always hear these things about PCs. And I have a PC. There's a XMG right behind me right here on my little table. I know that a lot of people like PCs, just like they like virtual DJ. And the reason they like PCs and virtual DJ and Android is because they want to be able to customize. That's it. Macs don't let you customize. You got to accept what Mac has. Now, the difference between a Mac and a PC is the Macs are, they're just designed to do everything. Period. You don't think about what it can or can't do because it's going to be able to do everything. So I don't know. I just, I don't need an 8 terabyte hard drive in any computer of mine. If you have 8 terabytes worth of music, I think it's time to stop DJing. I'm just saying. It's too much music. It's too much music. There is no best insurance to get for your DJ gear, Red 23. Find one that works in your state and go with that. And if you don't have a lot of DJ gear, like you're a one man, most of the time you can roll that into your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance. So that's what I would suggest first. Audio one. I recently took a position teaching people how to DJ using thumb drives and record box. What it made me realize is that the laptop OS and DVS wars are pointless. The end result is the music. Exactly. The only reason why I'm not the biggest thumb drive fan is because I have anxiety. Yeah, I know they make thumb drives now, 256, 512 thumb drives, terabyte thumb drives that you can use. And I still have this weird fear. Now, with Pioneer stuff, I know that they do have the ability to stream on certain hardware, not all of it, but certain hardware. When you're able to stream through, especially with your phone, because that's coming soon, I think all bets are off. With pre-computed stems, we might need that 8 terabyte drive. You don't need to do pre-computed stems. If you're using a newer computer with the reality of the fact that it's powerful, it's got a good graphics card, you won't need to pre-compute. And yeah, that's just gonna double all of your storage, and you're not DJing with everything. You're not using every song. Not every song you're gonna want to rock stems. I DJ every day, and I sometimes use a beta software in my gigs sometimes. And I do not stem every song. I stem a couple here and there. So why would I pre-compute my entire database, for that? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Off topic. How does it take to learn how to scratch if you practice every day for 30 minutes? Oh, how long would it take? That's on you. It's hard to say. But if you scratched every day for 30 minutes for an entire year, nonstop, you'd be a pretty good scratch DJ. In my opinion. Just 30 minutes a day. You'd be a pretty good scratch DJ. I have dead thumb drives. Well, you don't have to use thumb drives. You can plug in your hard drive. You can have an external hard drive. So it doesn't have to be thumb drives. And yes, I've actually had thumb drives that have died on me also. So I get it. I get it. Just recently, I had one where it was just like, it just wouldn't work in my Mac anymore. Worked on the PC, wouldn't work on the Mac. Strangest thing. I think what happened was, I think the Mac, I think there might have been some slight corruption on the thumb drive because it wouldn't eject. So I kept having to pull it out and pause. And after a while, if you keep pulling something out, the Mac's like, I don't like this anymore. And it will just stop you from being able to use it, which has happened. Okay, J Buck ask again. I may be late on this, but any idea when Serato will be releasing Sims full version? J Book, you're the influencer here. No, I believe that Stems will be out of beta in December. That's what I believe. I don't know exactly when, but I believe sometime in December. They're trying to line up. In my ideas, they're trying to line it up with the rain controller that is clearly using Stems. So they want to make sure that it works and works and works. So I think sometime in December we're gonna see Serato come out of beta. And then if we finally see an announcement on whatever rain product that they have, it'll probably be announced sometime December, January. And then you won't even get it until March. It's going to be the Rain 1 all over again. You know how it works. That Rain 1 took forever for people to get. I think the Rain 1, people forget, the Rain 1 was actually worse to get than the Rev 7 was. The difference was more people wanted the Rev 7, but yeah, it's probably going to be a while. Okay. It took me years to scratch with just the rhythm. Well, I mean, if you get the proper instruction on the initial scratch, look, you'd be surprised what you could get done with a baby scratch. You'd be surprised if you can do baby scratches and chirps for the most part, and you can get those down for the most part. It's all you really need. Seriously, because your chirps are going to lend themselves to being a better to transform. So if you can transform, chirp, and baby scratch, I think you're good. Yeah, you don't have to do autobahns and all this stuff. It doesn't matter. Just chirps, transforms, baby scratch. In my opinion, and you'll be just fine. And the biggest thing, it's all about the drops. It's all about dropping on the one. So if you can get that down, which is what scratching will help you do, is scratch on the one. So you can, and you're dropping it on right on the one. Like that's the hardest part of DJing, is being able to scratch and release on point. Once you get there, it doesn't really matter, honestly. I mean, most of the DJs I know are all baby scratching. Baby scratching scribbles is really it. It, bam, drop the track. Most people, in all honesty. And maybe a couple of snare tricks. Okay. Is there a setting I might be missing in VDJ to have it snap to the grid on a baby scratch like I see guys do with Serato? Make those baby intros work better. What do you mean? If you're manually scratching a baby scratch, how in the world could you get it to snap on grid on your release point? I think you just got to get your timing down. I mean, I think that's the most important part. Get your timing. Don't let your software be the DJ. Okay? There's already enough stuff that the software does that helps you even when you don't think about it, like simple simple sync, or smart sync, whatever it's called. That's actively on that most people don't even know about, but it's on by default. So you got to be able to scratch on the one. That's really, really important. I I don't I don't think that most people need to do a lot of things. Like when people are like, don't you sync? Like I'm like, I don't care. You sync. Now you should be able to definitely beat mix. Okay. Like you should be able to beat mix like there's no tomorrow. But once you know how to beat mix, you sync all day long. Who cares? Because you know how to beat mix. But scratching and letting the scratch and whatever and it sequence it perfectly for you, that's just to me, that's just a recipe for disaster because you don't need to scratch. Okay. Scratching is not necessarily a part of your DJing on a gig. But so if you're gonna do that, then take the time and learn where to drop, when to drop on the one. Please, for your own sake, in my opinion anyway. Um, okay. Uh, yeah. So just so you know, Power Fiend, um, Algorithm DJ has that same thing. I turn it off. I turn it off because it doesn't know how I'm scratching, and every time I'm doing it, I'm trying to on a release point, it's like, nope, wrong place. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh, and I go into DJ and I turn it off. Turn off that crap. Again, this is one of the things with virtual DJ, not their fault, which turned me off on virtual DJ. It tries to predict everything you're going to do. It tries to predict. And because of that, I think you're doing less DJing than you think. So then you get to somewhere else and you start using a different program or you got to use vinyl and nothing works properly because it's done everything for you. So get in the habit. Like I just turn everything off. And if you want to turn things back on, turn things back on. Sync helps big time when you're quick mixing. It does. It does. It does. I'm going to say something else though. You mean to tell me it's so hard to look at your screen and see that it's at 88 beats per minute and then you just got to move the other pitch to 88 beats per minute? It takes that long. I mean, you should be playing music relatively in the same beats per minute. So if you're loading a song and one's at 88 and one's at 90, how long does it take you to get to 88? Come on. So the only time, and nobody's quick mixing that fast where they can't adjust the pitch. Now, the only time I use sync, again, yeah, if I'm quick mixing, that's a perfect example. But yeah, bam, I got to load a song in really, really quick, and I don't have time to think about it. Somebody's like, my MC is like, oh, I need this song. You're like, damn it. You bring the song up, bam, bam, hit it. But like, yeah, never really, you don't need it because every single device you have has the BPM in big ass numbers. So yeah. Now, where sync does help if you're doing multiple tracks, maybe you're doing 3 and 4 deck mixing. Oh God, sync all day. Sync all day. But in general, yeah, you don't have to use sync. And Audio One is right. Master the basics. It's 100% true. I mean, I try to learn new scratches and everything like that. But the basics, the scribble, the baby scratch, the chirp, those are basic scratches. And you don't even have to be amazing at like transforms. If you're just bop 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 bop. If you do a scratch, and you bring it back with the transform, or you let it roll and you transform out on the out. That's all you need. You don't need to do too much. Like that's the one thing I will say. Every single DJ gets kind of caught into this thing where they're showing routines, and the first thing they have to do, hold on, let me scratch for 15 to 20 seconds. Yes, it definitely is good, but if you just have some basic stuff, then 20 seconds is a long time to be making bad scratches. And I've run into it myself. That's why I know this. Every time I'll do a video and I'll post it, I'll go back to that video like 3 to 6 months later. And I'm just like, why did I scratch so damn much? Why did I do that? So, less is more. Less is more. What's a transform? Power friend. A transform um is a cut out of the audio. So let's say you have a 3-second audio file and it's 3 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3. The transform, you're cutting sounds out during the entire file. So if you're doing a transform and you have an ah sound, right? Your transform is open. And then when the starts, it's It's just a cut out of the sound. So transforms, that's the basics of a transform. But then they can get really, really extreme. You can really go to town. When a lot of people just transform. They got really good at transforming, and you can make a transform sound like a lot of things. Like a lot of people do scratches and they know, and they're like, the pros will tell you. I'm like, oh, look, I'm doing this scratch, and they're like, well, that's not really that. It's more like a transform with a baby scratch, but it still sounds good. You know what I mean? You're like, oh man, I thought I was doing the scratch. No, you're just doing transform. So if you can get your transform good enough, a lot of times you can make the transform sound like a lot of other things. In all honesty, transform, chirp, scribble. You're good. You're good. Okay. I don't know when my next call is. Let's see when my next call is. I gotta get out of here, guys. I've been on for 2.5 hours. Yeah, because I need to eat. DJ Audio One says, in my class, all DJs has to be done manually. What the students do outside of the class is on them. My job is to teach them how to mix manually, beat match, phrase properly, how to EQ, to each their own. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And once you master the basics of that, nobody can tell you anything, which is why it always drives me nuts when people are like, oh, well, why they change the layout on this? Now, people are going to get confused when they DJ other things. No, they're not. No, they're not. If I'm rocking a Rev 1 and then I go to a DDJ 1000, I'm still going to be able to DJ. Why? Because the basics are there. The fundamentals are there. That doesn't change. And even when you're using gear, it always takes me a couple of minutes to get the feel of a jog wheel, So if I'm scratching on the RX3 and trying to do a scribble, the release point or the movement is going to be different than if I'm trying to scratch on a Rain 1 or a Rev 7 or even the DDJ 1000. The DDJ 1000 to me is the closest thing to turntables on a controller that does not have moving platters. The DDJ 1000's platters are fantastic because you have to utilize a pressure sensitivity. And because of that, it feels more like you're using turntables. Okay. Okay. Stay prepared. All right. Okay. I think we're good here, guys. I think we're good. Apple or why is my wife sending me this? Yeah. So, guys, for anybody that came late, I will not have a show next week unless I end up doing it from Disney World, because that's where I will be next week. There will be no Twitch Tuesday. There will be no YouTube Thursday. Hopefully there will be some videos that I get done that I will release throughout the week next week. And then I'll be back the following week. And then the week after that, I'm going to be in Boston at the Harvest of Sound. The faders are different too. Yeah. So you got to get your feel right. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is not one thing you do on a different controller, you're still going to be able to do that on a regular controller. Now, maybe is what I found. Like, say if I'm using CDJs, like I'm not the man when it comes to CDJs. There was a dude yesterday in competition. He was killing it. And if you're looking at like Dynamics kills it on CDJs and little ass controllers. Like, it's stupid how good he is. But there's certain scratches I can't do on certain devices just because of the way it's designed. So it is what it is. I only have an MV2. Is there a good video I should check out on how to do it with the controller like that rather than a splitting platter? So no, I mean, every controller, the fundamentals. Okay. So this is one thing that, a lot of people don't understand. They see people scratching and they think that it's all on the turntables or it's all on the jogs. If most DJs don't really use, it's all fader. It's all fader. You know, your hand, if you look at your hands, if you really look at your hands when you're scratching, your hands are probably doing this over and over again. Maybe it's a military, over and over again, right? That's all your hands are doing. You know, baby, scribble, baby scratch, and then, like a military, things like that. That's it. Now your fader hand is doing a lot more, because that's where all the sounds are being molded, is by the fader, So your jog wheel doesn't matter as much as your fader. Now, if you're trying to do beat juggles and all that stuff, yeah, it's a little hard. It's harder with jogs than it is with like moving platters. That's true. But I say that, and I see tons of people killing it on controllers. So everything's possible. It's all possible. All possible. Okay. Last thing. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. It is 1:06. I've been on for a long time. I guess I'm making up for the fact I'm not going to be here next week. Maybe I will. You know what? I might repost a video that I took down from maybe like an interview. Maybe I'll repost an interview. I might do that. Yeah. So, I think I answered everybody's question. Hopefully I did. If I did, make sure you give me a like. Give me a like on the YouTube page there. You want to be a member. I saw somebody was now a member, and I did not mention them. DJ, I think it's Phasm. Now a VIP membership. And I appreciate you. That's how you guys can support me. You be a member. I think it's like $3.99 or $4.99 or something like that. But I'm in the process of doing specialized things for all VIP members. I just need to get a little more, and we'll start to do things that are dedicated to just you guys. Dedicated to just you. So, thank you for your support. I appreciate everybody. And there's always super chats. You guys can always do super chats to leave a comment just to support me. I appreciate that. Makes the time I spend here, worthwhile. It means that it matters to you. Power friend, you definitely can. You definitely can. A lot of people, with transforms, there's no rhyme or reason to how you transform. So you can definitely use your drum cadences on a transform. My son, he's a tap dancer. So again, same type of drum cadence. He just kind of does what's in his head, and his transforms are really good because he treats it like he's tapping. Yeah. So, anyway, and yeah, TLM, obviously, look, if you really want, go back to watch DJ Angelo's videos. He's got a full on showcase of scratches, and it's all there. It's all free. It's all impressive. DJ Angelo. Who else is good? TLM is good. There's a couple of others. If you just type in the name of the scratch and put it out there are people that have videos all over the place. All over the place. Okay. All right, guys. That's going to do it for me. I got to get out of here. I'm starving. I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. As always, you guys are great. Hopefully, right. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to shoot the Mackie Thump 212 video, and then we'll start to set up the whole giveaway, which will be today. I will try to get the Flex 4 done before I leave, and I will try to get the RX3 comparison to the Prime, and now the Denon DJ SC4. So that's what we'll be doing. Yeah, that's what it is in there. Yeah, exactly. What's up with DJ TLM? Nothing. DJ TLM is dope. He's a good friend of mine. He does great stuff. Okay. All right, guys. That is about it. Let's see if I can get some music out of here, because last time I tried, the music did not kick on. Because no, it's there. Let's see if it plays. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out today. I really appreciate you. It's always fun hanging on here. So I will see you guys next week. Make sure if you guys are definitely follow me on IG. I will be on IG. There will be plenty of posts on IG the next week or so. Anyway, that's it, guys. See you soon. Peace out. Enjoy your day.